If you're serious about getting views on YouTube, I'll be sharing 36 powerful tools that you can use. I'll break the tools down into separate categories, starting from ideation all the way to hiring editors and managing a team. So this is 1 of 10, and it helps you boost your views by tracking millions of high-performing videos. So when you log in, and if I was to type in, let's say, side hustles, and then it's going to show me all these videos that are high performers. So it says that this is 4.2 times the average that this channel usually gets. So you can see here, this video got 101,000 views, and their average is typically 24. So this video, for some reason, did really well. Scrolling down more, we can see other videos from other creators that have outperformed their channel average. For example, this video here got 354,000 views, where their average is typically 150,000. So something about this video is 4.2 times more than what they typically get. So we can click on similar topic and find other people that are talking similarly about simple side hustles that they can do. So we got this one that says it's 1.2 times the average, so not too crazy. Scrolling down more, we can see this video here got 5.9 times the channel average. So this channel usually gets around 1,000 views per video, but this video here got 10,000 views. This next tool is the VidIQ Vision for YouTube. You don't need to pay for VidIQ. It's a free extension. What this tool does is that it shows you the views per hour on every video, as well as the outlier score. So this one did 2.4 times what the channel average has done. This tool is called Viewstats. It's completely for free, and apparently it was created by Mr. Beast. So what you can do is you can just type up any creator that you want, and it will show you a list that you can choose from, and it's going to give you some pretty useful information. Things like the views over the last 28 days, the subs, estimated revenue. It'll show you a graph of their performance from views and subscribers. If you click on videos and you scroll down, and let's say you were to select a video like this one, it'll show you things like a graph of the video performance. And then when you scroll down, you can actually see some pretty cool stuff like the thumbnail changes. So it'll tell you if the channel is doing an A/B test. So you can see the history of the different thumbnails that are being used on this channel. So the original thumbnail for this was this thumbnail right here. And you can see that they have tried out a bunch of different thumbnails, and it gives you the dates of when they tried this out. And ultimately, it looks like this is the thumbnail that they are currently doing. So it looks like Jimmy is testing out open mouth versus closed mouth to see which one performs better. I also like to click on similar channels because that'll tell you who are other similar channels in that niche. For example, I really like CoffeeZilla, and I want to see other channels that are similar to CoffeeZilla. And we can see here, we got some other creators, things like Scott Schaefer, Spencer Cornelia, and it shows you things like their subscriber count, their total views, and how many uploads they have. I'm not too sure why Logan Paul Shorts is listed as a similar channel to Coffee. Maybe because Coffee talks about him so much. This next tool is called Creator Hooks Pro, and essentially what it is, it's a database of a bunch of different very high performing videos that have done better than the channel average by a significant amount, and it gives you the sentiment analysis of these different titles. So for example, the click triggers on this video that has done very well is authority, counterintuitive, curiosity, drama, and negativity. So how Archimedes almost broke math with circles, and then it gives you a framework for how this title was structured. How authority figure almost broke entity with unexpected entity. And if I click on remix this title, it'll actually cater this title based on my specific niche. So it's giving me some examples that I could use for one of my videos. How Slack almost broke corporate life with automation, how Warren Buffett almost ruined investing with online trading, how entrepreneurs are nearly shattering 9 to 5 with online business. And if I like any of these titles, I can save this to my favorites. This tool is called Miro, and it's a visual workspace for innovation. And if you scroll down, you can see what it's like to use Miro. So if you wanted to create any tables, or if you wanted to just brainstorm anything, you can do that within Miro. It's just very easy. You can create flowcharts, you can create Kanban boards, you can add sticky notes, you can just brainstorm however you feel like. Miro has a free plan that's pretty useful. If you click on templates, you can choose a bunch of different templates that you can just very easily add. So let's say I wanted to do a timeline. I could just click on use, and then it's going to import that timeline into Miro just like that. So you can see, and now I can change up anything, and I can say publish this video or whatever, milestone. And they have a bunch of different options that you can choose from. You can add sticky notes, add text to the sticky note, shapes, put any shape that you want, arrows, just like that, draw things, add comments. So a lot of flexibility for visual brainstorming. And if you zoom out, so you can see there's a lot of space that you can use on Miro, and you can just go and zoom in and find whatever information that you want. This tool is called Pixo. It's a Miro alternative, and the reason why I want to share this tool is because they have a lifetime deal going on. So if you wanted some of the premium features within Miro, like the ability to collaborate with multiple people at the same time, like this, you could purchase a lifetime deal of Pixo. That way you could have some of those features. This deal is available on AppSumo for $59, and if you scroll down, you can see what you get as part of the deal. And the nice thing about buying from AppSumo is that it has a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it out. If you like it, if you don't, you can return it, and you get your money back, no questions asked. You can pick whatever license tier works best for you. So for example, the lowest tier is 59 and the highest tier that you could get is 300, and it just allows you to be able to get more capability. Things like 35 editors, 700 gigabytes of whiteboard file capacity, 30,000 total AI credits. If any of the lifetime deals that I share in this video are no longer available, there's a couple things that you can do. One is you can subscribe and turn on notifications so you get notified as soon as these videos go live. Two is you can subscribe to my newsletter where I can just send you an email of some of the top tools that have just become available. That way you can get them as soon as they go live. That way you don't miss out on them. And three, always check the links in the description because I'll be updating them with the latest deals for these tools. So if it's not available on AppSumo, maybe I'm able to get a lifetime deal directly from the company, and I'll include those links in the description. For editing thumbnails, if you want professional results, then you can use Photoshop. Canva is another alternative. If you're not a graphic designer and don't know how to use Photoshop or don't care to learn, Canva is just very quick and easy to be able to create thumbnails on the fly. For example, if I click on Create Design and then look up Thumbnail, YouTube Thumbnail, and then on the left, we have a bunch of different thumbnail options that you can choose from. If you have the Pro plan, you can use any of the templates that say Pro on them. If you don't have the Pro plan, then you can just use any of these that don't have that Pro feature on it. For example, all of these thumbnails that don't have that little Pro next to it are free to use. You can easily go in and change this to be whatever you want, and it's just very easy. You don't need any graphic design experience to use Canva. You can change out the colors, change out the text, change out the images. If you want to use a professional photo editing software but don't want to pay for Photoshop, you can use this free tool called Photopea. If I click on templates and then look up thumbnail, for example, we could see a bunch of YouTube thumbnails. We even got a Mr. Beast thumbnail in there. So if I click on this Mr. Beast one, click on that, it's going to load this thumbnail just like that. And here you can see that we have some of those professional Photoshop-like layers that we can change out, move things around, change out the layers. So if we want to move this Lamborghini, if we want to change this text to say whatever, and we have all the professional Photoshop type tools on the left. This free tool is called Thumbsup TV, and what you can do is you can just click and add a thumbnail. So I'm going to toggle this into dark mode, and then we can see that it's now shrank my thumbnail into different sizes based on the compatibility. So we've got the home page on the large. So let's say home large is going to be, let's say, on a browser. And then we have things like history large on mobile. So what it looks like on mobile from the phone and mobile on the column. We have Apple TV. The reason why you'd use this tool is because maybe you have a thumbnail and when you shrink it down, it's not able to be easily distinguishable. So then what you'd want to do is you'd want to go back and make it easier. So that way, if somebody is on mobile and they are looking at your thumbnail in the column, it's not going to look illegible. Thumblytics is a paid tool and it lets you test your YouTube thumbnails and titles before you publish. All you do is you upload your thumbnail and title variants to Thumblytics, then they preview them and show it to hundreds of real people to collect click data, and they crunch the numbers to help you pick the best and highest click-through rate thumbnail and title version. It says that they're trusted by over 10,000 YouTubers, and they show you some of the big channels that apparently are using this tool. When you log in, this is what it looks like. I already ran a test, so I'll show you what the results were like. So I've got two different thumbnails. I did this one, which says 10x cheaper, and then this one just says 0 monthly fees, and it was shown to 50 people. If I click on see feedback, I can see what people are commenting. A lot of people are saying things like 0 fees sounds more interesting than 10x cheaper, since you don't know how much that would be. So that's some valid feedback, and I can see all the different comments that people have left. So this can help me decide based on data which thumbnails I should modify, or if I should start my video using one of these thumbnails. This tool is called Creator Now, and it says that it has everything that you need to get started on YouTube. Creator Now is a community, an education platform, and it also has tools that you can use as a creator. It was co-founded by Eric, and they have a lot of creators that have contributed in the education portion of this platform. When you log in and you click on Create and then click on Feedback, you can see that there's a way to be able to vote on different thumbnails. And if you click on My Feedback, you can actually upload your own thumbnails and get feedback. So if I click on this little thing, it'll generate a report. It'll say this thumbnail and title was picked 3 times, and this one was picked 3 times, and then these ones were picked less. And then going down, you can also see other people that left comments. If you click on the library section, you can see that there's a lot of videos from some top creators. You've got Hayden Hillier-Smith, you've got Thomas Bragg, you have Eric, as well as other people like this creator attorney. It's a pretty fun and useful platform if you are a creator. Another type of community that's really good for getting thumbnail feedback is from Thumbnail University. If you're familiar with Ed from Film Booth, he created this thing called Thumbnail University. He limits it to a certain amount of people, so it's not always open, but I did want to share this tool because it's something that I actively use. For example, you can upload your thumbnails and people like Ed and his team are going to go in and leave comments on things like the title and the thumbnail itself and help you improve it. So you can see here, we were just uploading our thumbnails and then getting feedback, and then we were able to modify it so that way we were able to get the best one. For scripting, there's this free tool called the YouTube Summary with ChatGPT and Claude. You can download this extension. When you go to YouTube and you click on a video, on the right-hand side, it's going to pull up this thing called the transcript and summary. If you click on View AI Summary, what it's going to do, it's going to take the whole transcript of that video, put it into ChatGPT, and then it'll give you a summary of what that video is about. Now, the cool thing here that you can do is you can actually interact with the transcript. So if I say something like break the script down into the different sections, now it's breaking the transcript and putting it into something that I could use if I wanted to be able to modify my script to kind of model what's already been working. This tool is called Subscriber, and it uses AI to help you write faster, better YouTube scripts. You can see that I've created a couple different scripts already, and all you need to do is click on Create, and you can provide it some information, things like what's the topic of the video, what's the unique angle. It will automatically pull what your audience is. So it says that my channel appeals to young, tech-savvy individuals who are interested in starting their own business or scaling an existing one. That's pretty accurate. They are likely motivated by financial independence and freedom to control their own time and decisions. Hey, that's me. And the use of AI and modern tools to streamline business processes and income with their desires for efficiency. So really cool that it's able to pull this. It scraped my channel, it looked at all my videos, and it gave me a pretty accurate description of who my audience is. And even the audience age range, which is 25 to 34, is accurate as well. Then you can put in the audience goals, and then in this research section, you can choose how much research you want the tool to do. So what you can do is you can actually insert links into this tool. It will then scrape those links and pull the information. That way you're able to get a very well-researched and a well-rounded script. So when you're going through, it'll ask you some pretty useful questions for framing that the audience will probably be wondering as well. So for this video, I did 7 different websites. So I entered in all the different websites that I was going to be talking about, and then it gave me some framing questions that people might be wondering. How can this tool benefit my business? What makes this stand out from the other education websites? How does this help me in summarizing text? And the research section is where you can put in all of the URLs that you're going to be putting in. The title section will give you some different title options that you could choose for your video. Thumbnail section will give you some different text prompts that you could use to either use for AI, or you could kind of base your thumbnail based on one of these prompts. It'll give you some different opening hooks for your video, or you can edit it like I did for this one. And then in the script section, it'll break down your script into different components. So it gave me some different sections like power tools, and then a conclusion, and then it can use the AI to be able to draft the script for you. And then obviously you're going to go in and modify it to make it sound more like you. Once everything looks good, you click on the review section, open an editor, and then this is where you can go in and modify different sections. It'll tell you areas that you can work on. It'll tell you the word count, speaking length, grade level, readability, and you can just copy that to the clipboard and then paste that into whatever you're going to be using to read off your script. This next resource is a community for scriptwriters. So this is the YouTube Scriptwriter Playbook from this guy, George Blackman. He's written scripts for people like Ali Abdaal and some other big creators. So like I said, this is a community as well as education. So what George does is office hours, and you can ask different questions related to script writing or YouTube in general. He has a course that walks you through his framework that he used for people like Ali Abdaal when he was creating scripts for him. And then you can also paste your own scripts and intros into here, and then other people from the community can go in and leave comments. If you're editing videos, one of the best softwares that you can use is Adobe Premiere Pro. This is what a lot of professionals use because you can use this on either Mac or Windows. Another popular tool for editing is CapCut, but with CapCut, you are limited to only using that on Mac. So with Premiere Pro, you can use that on different workstations. Adobe also has some other powerful tools like After Effects, which allows you to be able to do animations. They also have this thing called Adobe Podcast that can improve your audio quality. Let's say if you're outside or you just don't have the best quality mic, it'll make it sound very professional for free. Like I previously mentioned, Final Cut Pro is a popular tool for a lot of video editors. A lot of people on YouTube are debating whether to use Adobe or Final Cut. A lot of editors swear by CapCut, so if you have a Mac and you want to use it, go ahead. If you don't want to pay for any professional video editing software, but you want to use one, there's this free one called Davinci Resolve, and you can download this for free. They do have a version that you can buy, but the free version, you can get mostly everything that you need done with that version. Davinci Resolve, like I said, is a professional video editing software, and it's actually used by people in Hollywood for for big budget movies. Another tool that I like to share is Invideo. Now, I'm not going to say that Invideo is a great video editing software for professional video edits or for effects or for anything like that. But if you are just looking for some very basic edits where you're just adding in video and maybe doing audio, Invideo is pretty useful because you can get things like B-roll completely for free. So if I click on editor, you can do landscape or portrait. So if you're doing for shorts or for long form, it's just very easy to use if you're not a video editor or doing anything professionally. You could upload your files directly to here and then it'll have it on your timeline, or you could use their video library. Now, this is one of the key reasons why I think that this is a pretty useful tool, is because you get these premium types of B-roll that you could just add to your timeline. You can see this one came from Storyblocks, but instead of having to pay a subscription to Storyblocks, you get this video completely for free as part of your Invideo subscription. So I can just search, and if I want to look up, let's say, cats, we have all this B-roll from these paid subscription services, things like Storyblocks, iStock. You can easily just add those to your timeline and edit. Like I mentioned before, you're going to need B-roll if you are using a video editing service instead of Invideo. Storyblocks is a premium B-roll service that you do have to pay monthly for. You're probably going to want music for your videos as well, and that's where a subscription service to Epidemic Sound makes sense because it is the premium for sound. But if you don't want to pay to any of these subscription services for B-roll or music, you could use this free tool called Pexels, and you can see that you could find videos or photos. Another relative free site that you could use is Pixababy. This one is good if you are looking for things like music. So if we typed in here, let's say lo-fi, we can get all of the royalty-free lo-fi music. Tool that I use is TubeBuddy, and I use TubeBuddy for two different reasons. One is for doing thumbnail and title split tests on my videos. So you can see here, I've got a bunch of split tests that I have run, and it will give you the data based on which thumbnail has done better. So you can see here, this thumbnail did 3.74% click-through rate, where this one did 2.84%. So I decided to use this thumbnail instead of this one. You can also test different titles, and if you click on that, it'll give you some really useful analytics. So you can see this one's doing 4% for this title versus this one is doing 3%. It'll show you how many impressions it got, how many clicks, and what's the watch time for each of these. So this title has obviously done a lot better. It's got more clicks, got more watch time, and when you scroll down, you'll get more data on your video. So I'm very analytical, so I do like having a lot of data, which is why I use TubeBuddy for my split tests. Second reason I like to use TubeBuddy is because it has a lot of bulk tools. So if you want to be able to find and replace text in your descriptions, instead of you clicking on every single video and trying to replace something, with TubeBuddy you can do a bulk action and easily replace any of the text in your description with something else. They also do have this keyword explorer. So let's say if you were to look up a word like side hustles, you can see data on that keyword, things like the interest over time. If I was to create a video just titled side hustles, how it would perform. You can see things like the score analysis from the search volume, weighted competition, optimization strength, as well as views and other related searches to that keyword. Once you've created your video, maybe you want to turn that into shorts. That's where Opus Clips comes in. You can take one long form video and then generate 10 viral clips, and you can create these clips 10 times faster. So instead of you paying for a video editor to create clips out of your video, or you even having to edit the video yourself, you just take that, throw it into Opus Clips, and it will generate a bunch of viral videos for you. A lot of people use Opus Clips. Once you have your video, you have your clips, you're probably going to want some written content as well, and that's where Castmagic comes into play. You can turn conversations into content like magic. It says that it's the fastest way to automate your content workflow with AI. You can see a lot of creators also use Castmagic. When you log in, you can upload a video. So I uploaded this video that was on YouTube. It was a podcast between Alex Hormozy and Stephen Bartlett from The Diary of a CEO. So you can use your content or you can use other people's content. So what it will do first is it will take the entire transcript of the video and give it to you like that, and it'll give you who the speaker is at what point. If you click on AI content, this is where the real magic happens. So if you didn't come up with a title yet, it'll give you some different title options. It'll give you keywords that you can use for tags for this video. If you are doing a podcast, it'll give you the speaker bio. So it'll actually create a bio for the person that is the guest on the podcast. It can give you an introduction for your podcast. It give you some questions that you could use, key topics and bullets from that video. It'll find clips from the video, things like quotes, hooks, and timestamps that you could use. If you're going to be creating reels, it'll give you captions for your reels. If you're creating for LinkedIn, it'll give you a LinkedIn post that you can use. If you have a newsletter, it'll actually write out a newsletter for you based on the video. And if you have Twitter or X, it'll give you a X or tweet thread, whatever they call it now. And then also it'll give you different posts for Instagram as well. Since this is a pretty long interview, you can see it's an hour and 56 minutes. ChatGPT is not going to take that transcript. It's going to be way too long. But with Castmagic, you can use this thing called Magic Chat to actually interact with this super long podcast transcript. So you can do things like lessons learned, 3 fun facts, key themes, blog posts. And you can also explore different community posts. So these are different prompts that other people in the community have used, and you can see how many people have actually used them. Now we're getting into the part where you are scaling your team. So if you need to hire anybody, a lot of people use YT jobs. You can either post a job or you can find jobs if you are talent. So if you want to be able to, let's say, apply as a YouTube strategist or a YouTube producer, you can see people that are posting jobs. You could also put yourself as talent, so that way you can work with maybe one of these creators. I know a lot of people are looking for video editors. So if you click on the video editor jobs, you can see lots of people are looking for video editors, and you can apply and see how much they pay for these different jobs. I personally use this tool called Onlinejobs PH because all of my video editors I typically hire from the Philippines. That's just what I've been doing for years, and this platform makes it very easy to find freelancers. I personally hire everybody from my team from the Philippines because it is a lot more affordable than hiring, let's say, in the US. So Onlinejobs PH, it's a job board for virtual workers in the Philippines. If you need things like a virtual assistant or a video editor, you can look and you can find people that are video editors and they can apply for your jobs. In the Philippines, you can kind of get an idea for how much full-time work is for different types of positions. If you scroll down, you can see things like a general virtual assistant on the low end is around 492, median 626, and then on the high end, it's 900. For video editors on the low end, it's 400 all the way to around 900, and just different jobs, you can get a general idea for how much these different positions could potentially be. But again, that also depends on experience and location. If you don't want to hire anybody full-time or part-time, Fiverr is a platform that you can do to be able to find people on a just project basis. If I look up video editor, we can see a bunch of different video editors, people that are charging 25 to 50, 50 to 85, or above 85. You can also see how many reviews they have, so that way there's some credibility there as well. If you're using Fiverr, you're just going to pay the freelancer directly through the Fiverr platform, and Fiverr is going to take a commission or percentage of that sale. If you're hiring somebody full-time from the Philippines, you're typically going to be using this platform called Wise. It's a free way to be able to send money, and you're able to get money transferred at a very affordable cost. Typically, any video editor that's going to be international, you're probably going to be using Wise, or you use PayPal, but PayPal is going to charge you a little bit more of a fee. Once you start building your team, you need a way to be able to easily communicate with everybody. A very popular free tool that people use is called Slack. You can see you can do things like create different channels on the left-hand side here, and you can have conversations with different people inside of those different channels. You can also send direct messages to any of your teammates directly from Slack as well. Once you have a team, you're going to need to be able to manage your team, and that's where a tool like Trello comes in, because you can manage your different projects within a Trello board. You can see here with Trello, you have this thing called a Kanban board, and you're going to have these different tasks. So within this board, you have these different things called lists, and in this list, you have different things called cards. In the card, you can have things like a description of what it is that you're going to be doing, any attachments, you can have different members assigned to it, labels, due dates, all of this stuff, very useful. And then you can move that card from one list to another list. And then your board is basically just going to be, let's say you are doing video editing in here, and maybe you have another board for thumbnails, so you can separate things between boards, lists, and also cards. I've been personally using this tool for a while now called Upbase, and it's a combination of, let's say, Trello as well as a few other popular tools. It says that it's a unique project management tool that's built for individuals and small teams. So all the tools that you need for your team without the complexity, as you can see, similar to Trello in this capacity, where you have these different lists on the left, and then there's these things called tasks. In these tasks, we have our cards, and our cards are like on Trello, where you can assign different cards to different people. You can comment, have full-on conversations, and move those tasks to different lists like that. Upbase also has this thing called Docs, where you can upload different documents and keep it unified for your team. So that way everybody on your team has these different documents that they can access. You'd also upload files. You can include different links to different things. You have a shared calendar with your teams. You can post messages. And then you also have a chat feature, so you can talk with different people individually. So it's like a combination of Slack, Trello, and a few other tools like Asana and Google Drive. I did pick this tool up from AppSumo a while ago. Right now, it's not available anymore. But if you subscribe to the channel, follow the newsletter, and then I can just keep you up to date whenever this tool does come back, or if something similar that I think is worth sharing, I'll share it with you. If you want to get feedback on your videos, a popular tool that a lot of creators use is called Frame.io, and what Frame.io does, it allows you to be able to leave comments on specific parts of the video. You can comment, you can draw, you can say, hey, this specific section, I need you to do this or remove this. This is really useful when you do have a team and you have video editors and you need to be able to leave comments on the video. It'll leave timestamps on specific sections, which is, again, very useful. I don't personally use Frame because I use this tool called Vimeo because it does a lot of the same features that Frame does, but it also has a few extra that I personally need. So with Vimeo, you can upload your videos that you record. This video is going to be uploaded to this folder, and that way my editors can go in, they can pull that video, and I have multiple different cameras, screen share, stuff like that. So I just upload everything to here. It hosts those videos, then they're able to download those onto their computer. Once those videos are complete, they can upload it to the completed folder, and then it gives me the option to be able to download the video and upload it to YouTube. or I could click on this thing called review. And this is very useful because now I can leave comments on different parts of the video. So let's say I wanted to leave a comment on this section. All I need to do is to click on the video, and then I can say, great looking guy. It'll add that, and then my editors can see my comments or leave replies, and then they can close out anything if it's been completed.
This is what I've been looking for.
Building a business on YouTube is easier if you use the right tools, but the problem is most YouTubers are so focused on just trying to get views that they never learn what tools they need to actually build a successful business. So watch this video next to see what tools you need to build a business using YouTube.